strong. But now I'm gonna pick Crawford to win this fight.
That version of Canelo,
He might stop you, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man.
Canelo Alvarez got one of the best chins.
Yeah, but hey, listen, he ain't been hit by Terence though.
Your boy Bushido knows what he's talking about. I've been telling y'all for the longest time, even before it was popular to say it, that Terence Bud Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez. It's your boy Mr. 926, a.k.a. Bushido the Dragon, a.k.a. the Black Mage, a.k.a. I could just do this all day, the two-time DeMontage champion of the world.
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up.
Check it out, man. There's been a lot going on when it comes to Terence Bud Crawford, Teofimo Lopez, and his racist rant, amongst some things that's been going on. Terence Bud Crawford now finds himself the opposite opponent of Canelo Alvarez. The fight supposed to go down September 12th on Netflix, right? Allegiant Stadium, something like that, Las Vegas, whatever, right? It's going down. But something I've been saying for a while, before it was even popular, before it was even really a thing, is that Terence Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez. And now, after Canelo Alvarez's most recent performance against William Skull, it seems like a lot of the experts who were leaning a little bit more towards Canelo before, now is saying that Terence Bud Crawford wins the fight. John Boots Ennis' trainer and father, Bozy Ennis, says that he think that Crawford could knock him out. Check it out.
He might stop you, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man.
Canelo Alvarez got one of the best chins.
Yeah, but hey, listen, he ain't been hit by Terence though. Terence can punch, man. You know what I mean? I know he's been in with some of the great punches and all that, but them punches gotta be placed right. You know what I mean? And Terence placed them punches, man. Them body shots, man. I don't see too many people go to Canelo body. Have you seen that?
Not really.
Not too many people.
Even Triple G, who's
That's
a good
what I'm
body
saying.
puncher.
Yeah, but
everything was up top.
Everybody, and he got a hard head, man. So I will go to the body, go to the head, and go back down to the body. And then once you keep on going to that body, he's gonna drop his hands. Once he drop his hands, good night.
Now, to hear what Bozy had to say, I mean, look, I'm not one that... Canelo's tough. He's durable. He's tough. But Bozy had a point. Crawford lands that punch. He lands it in the right spot. He lands the punches in the right spot. Crawford is a very accurate puncher. He lands his punches in the right spot. Nobody never attacks Canelo's body. Everybody attacks the head. Well, the head is pretty sturdy, right? On Canelo Alvarez. Dude got a block skull. A cement cylinder block skull. Attack that body. Wear him down. Canelo Alvarez, actually, if you think about it, not even Triple G attacked Canelo's body. And Triple G was a body puncher type of guy. It's going to be interesting to see. But then Chris Algieri has some things to say about the matchup. And he now also believes that Terence Bud Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. Check it out.
that version of Canelo probably does lose to Crawford. He looked different. His movement was different. His body was different. His attitude was different. Everything was different. I don't think Canelo's going to show up like that. He had what he had in front of him, and he knew what it was and what he wasn't. And he understands that Crawford is not the same thing as William Skull. And you're only as good as your last fight. And that's the last fight we're going to see Canelo before he steps into the ring with Crawford.
Now, to hear what Chris had to say, I mean, look, man. Canelo Alvarez didn't look good in that fight against Skull. And William Skull didn't really amount the type of offense that a fighter like Terence Crawford will put out. He just didn't. But what William Skull did do was show that Canelo Alvarez has lost a step or two. Couldn't keep up with the guy. He's been literally reduced to only body punches. That's how bad it really was. People don't want to take it for what it was. This dude took away everything that Canelo can do. And he was only reduced to landing an occasional body shot. Similar to what Eddie Landy Lara did years ago. Right? And then, of course, we have Robert Garcia. one of the best coaches in boxing. He was leaning towards Canelo Alvarez for the obvious reason. Now, he always gave Crawford praise over the years, but Canelo Alvarez, prior to his last fight, everybody was just like, Canelo, he's a bigger guy, he's much bigger, he's punching, Crawford never been at the weight, all this other stuff. But after that face-off, and after that fight with Skull, people's minds changed. Check out what Robert Garcia had to say.
Look, I think this fight now with Crawford's gonna make it a better fight. I think it's a very close fight. Now I switch. I always thought Canelo was gonna be too big, too strong, but now I'm gonna pick Crawford to win this fight. Crawford is very talented, great footwork, great combinations, and a very strong fighter. Uh, Facing him off, he's actually the taller man. So I'm leaning towards Crawford now. I switch my opinion. I think Canelo looked too slow, too flat-footed. One punch at a time. I don't think that's going to be enough for him to beat Crawford. Crawford's too fast, too strong, just too good.
Now, to hear what Rob had to say, come on. What have your boy Bushido been telling y'all, man? I mean, I want to say I'm almost about as an expert at this thing as some of these professionals. Because a lot of stuff that these guys say, I say it on this channel before they even say it. And I'm starting to question, do they be listening in to Bushido Boxing? If you do, hit that like button for your boy. I mean, come on, man. I mean, I'm not saying I get it right all the time, but damn, more times than none I do. Right? Robert Garcia said that he thinks Crawford can win the fight. He thinks that Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. Come on, man. We saw the look on Canelo's face when Crawford first pulled up before they got the face off, before he turned his hat back. He looked as surprised to see Crawford. He was surprised to see how big this guy really was. Oh, he's too small. Remember they were saying he was too small on these podcasts and Breakfast Club and all that? He's too small and all that. When Crawford got in his face, it was totally different. It was so different that the next time they faced off, Canelo had them stacked shoes on. Canelo feeling something with this one, y'all. I'm telling you. The look on his eyes when he saw Crawford for the first time, he was like, oh, shit, there you go. It's almost like he's seen a ghost. And now he's wearing stacked shoes. Canelo always been a shorter fighter. Since when did Canelo Alvarez wear some stacked shoes? Right? To give him 3-inch height advantage. When did we see that? So now he's standing straight eye to eye with Crawford all of a sudden with those 3-inch shoes on. Right? This is going to be a tougher fight for Canelo than most people think. And like I said before, how does Canelo beat Crawford? Forget Crawford, how he beats Canelo. How does Canelo beat Crawford? Because that blueprint isn't out there. That's a puzzle that still haven't been solved. The puzzle of Canelo Alvarez has been solved. And when we're watching the more recent version, remember what Chris Algieri said, you're only good as your last fight. When we watch the recent version of Canelo, how could you say that that version of Canelo could beat a guy like Terence Crawford? So you mean to tell me over the years, Crawford been boxing about 30-something years. He's a master boxer at this point, 30-something years, right? You mean to tell me that he hasn't seen that style? And when did power be the only determining factor to win a fight? When? Power is nothing if it can't land. Power is nothing if it can't land clean. Power is nothing if it's not landing on the right spot. This is a tougher fight for Canelo, in my opinion, than it is for Crawford. But the biggest battle Crawford will still have to overcome, in my opinion, is the politics that surrounds Canelo Alvarez. Will the politics be in full effect during that fight? I'm telling y'all, man. There's going to be more and more guys, more and more experts, more and more trainers coming out saying, I don't know, I think Crawford can get him. I think Bud Crawford can get him. How is Canelo, for the Canelo guys out there, right? How is he going to beat Bud Crawford? I say at this point, Canelo really only has a puncher's chance outside of the politics. He don't have many advantages in this fight when we talking about two guys in the ring. He don't have the reach. He don't have the speed. Will he have the strength? I don't know. Crawford has seemed to be a pretty strong guy. Regardless of what weight he's in, nobody has ever bullied or pushed Crawford around in the ring. We never seen it. Will Canelo be the guy to be able to do it? Another thing I know is about Canelo Alvarez, his output isn't the same. He's not as confident throwing punches if you're not standing still. If you're a mobile target, he's not going to be throwing those crazy punches. And against a master counterpuncher like Crawford, who's arguably going to be the best counterpuncher he's fought since Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez may be hesitant on making mistakes in that fight. I would even go further to say it may not be as exciting as people expect it to be. But what I will say, too, Crawford to walk away with his hand raised in that fight. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Nobody could debate otherwise. If you got somebody that can debate, let me know. They got to be on camera, though. If we doing any type of boxing debate with this Canelo Crawford thing, they got to be on camera. Because I'll be on camera, too. But like I told you guys, man, you don't get none of that pander talk over here. And I'm not even saying any of this because I'm a Crawford fan. I'm saying this because I understand what I'm looking at. I understand fighting. I understand boxing. I know exactly what I'm looking at. I know what this type of guy gets in the ring with that type of guy is going to spell disaster for that guy. And that guy being Canelo Alvarez. It's going to be a disaster for him. It's a bad fight for him. I don't think they really wish they had took this fight. Right? Because now if he lose, he lost to the smaller dude. The older and smaller dude. Quote unquote, right? With the weight and everything, right? Quote unquote. Crawford may be the bigger guy when they fight. Who knows? But there's also questions about Crawford as well, since he don't have an interim fight, right? And I think they're doing this on purpose. Because now there's nothing to go off of but his last fight, which was a pretty decent performance. It wasn't Crawford's best performance. But that's the only thing they can go off of, unless you want to go back a little further and look at the dismantling of Errol Spence Jr., which was a scary, 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 nightmarish version of Terence Bud Crawford, I might add. Could be really interesting to see. I can't wait. The build up to this thing is going to be great. I'm more confident than ever that Terence Bud Crawford will get the job done. I'm still trying to figure out how can Canelo beat this dude. I'm with the Canelo fans now. How is Canelo going to beat him? I've been trying to figure out ways, how could Canelo do it? And the only way I could really see is if Crawford slips on a banana peel or if he gets caught with something he don't see. But Canelo Alvarez, best hope, best chance in this fight is the hope that Crawford gives the fight that Canelo usually thrives in. Brings the fight to Canelo, and hopefully it's a gunfight, a shootout, and maybe Canelo lands something big and buzz him, right? That's his really only chance as of right now, what I can think of. We got plenty of time to digest this thing and figure it out. But you heard what the experts said. Chris Algieri, Robert Garcia, Bozy Ennis. They said that they all believe that Terence Bud Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. But tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.